Yuri Gripas, Reuters on Thursday. Donald Trump replaced a man who built the case for war with North Korea as a last resort with a man who just made the case for war with North Korea as more of a first resort. Trump announced that National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster will be succeeded by John Bolton, the George W. Bush-era United Nations ambassador who has advocated for U.S. military action to prevent Saddam Hussein, Ayatollah Khamenei, and most recently Kim Jong-un from amassing weapons of mass destruction. North Korea is an imminent threat to America because it is only months away from achieving the capacity to deliver nuclear warheads to the U.S. mainland, Bolton wrote in late February in the Wall Street Journal. Therefore, it is perfectly legitimate for the U.S. to defend itself by striking North Korea first. Until today, it was McMaster who was considered Trump's most militant advisor on North Korea. A three-star general and earnest intellectual, McMaster clashed with Trump personally and on matters of policy. He recommended, over the president's objections, sticking with the Iran nuclear deal, the war in Afghanistan, and America's commitments to NATO allies and pushback against Russian aggression. McMaster, like Rex Tillerson, notably used his final days in office to condemn Russian malfeasance in ways his boss never has. But in fleshing out the administration's national security policies, McMaster sought to fuse Trump's America First nationalism with his own brand of principled realism. "I would not put H.R. in the Hobbes camp where life is nasty, brutish, and short," McMaster's longtime colleague Bill Rapp once told me. It's not Machiavellianism. Trump's worldview, by contrast, has been compared to that of both Hobbes and Machiavelli. McMaster envisioned a perilous new era of geopolitical competition in which the United States was confronting not just terrorist groups, but also resurgent powers like China and Russia and rogue regimes like Iran and North Korea. His signature initiative in the Trump administration was sounding the alarm about the North Korean nuclear threat and putting meat on the bones of the president's vows to deny Kim Jong-un nuclear weapons that could reach the U.S. both through the advice he gave to Trump and the demands he made on the Pentagon to prepare for war. McMaster and Trump's positions on North Korea happened to dovetail. Long before joining the administration in February 2017, McMaster was warning that the danger of a nuclear-armed North Korea couldn't be overstated. In 2016, he noted ominously that North Korea had the distinction of simultaneously being an aspiring nuclear power, a formidable conventional military power, and a failing state. It could project offensive power with its weapons of mass destruction, just as Nazi Germany did with long-range missiles aimed at the United Kingdom and Saddam's Iraq did with Scud missiles aimed at Israel. At the National Security Council, he argued that the traditional deterrence that the United States practiced with the Soviet Union, "if you nuke us, we'll nuke you," might not be effective with the exceptionally reckless Kim regime. The administration's national security strategy, which McMaster spearheaded, stated that North Korea is developing nuclear weapons not to defend itself but to kill millions of Americans, and even if nuclear deterrence worked, North Korea could try and hold American cities hostage with nuclear weapons until the U.S. stopped protecting its South Korean ally from North Korean invasion. He cautioned that North Korea could sell nuclear technology to America's foes and precipitate a nuclear arms race. Bolton has made similar points. He suggested that halting North Korea's pursuit of nuclear weapons wasn't just about North Korea and nuclear weapons, but about sustaining the world as we've known it since World War II. As a result of this assessment, McMaster repeatedly stated that the Trump administration was ready to forcefully prevent the North from acquiring a long-range nuclear capability if the president's campaign of economic sanctions and diplomatic isolation failed to do so. McMaster urged Trump early in his presidency to focus on denying North Korea that capability rather than working to contain it, the Republican Senator Lindsey Graham told me, and he reportedly alienated Defense Secretary James Mattis and Secretary of State Rex Tillerson by insisting on serious plans for military strikes against North Korea. What remained a mystery throughout McMaster's tenure, however, were the underlying motivations for his hardline posture. Did McMaster, a former tank commander and Vietnam War scholar who was intimately acquainted with the tragic unpredictability of war,